Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tearing down the Amazon product page for a seriously popular piece of tech, the WD_Black 5TB P10 Game Drive. We're going to dive right into the gritty specs, read the fine print, and sift through the customer reviews to separate the flashy marketing hype from the actual on-the-ground reality. So, if you've been eyeing this drive for your gaming setup, you are exactly in the right place. Look, let's just get straight into it. We've all been there, right? You're staring at that dreaded bright red storage full bar right when a massive 100 gigabyte game update drops out of nowhere. You're pumped to play, your friends are literally waiting in the lobby, and suddenly you're forced to play this terrible mini-game of figuring out which of your beloved titles gets the axe just to make room. It is pretty much a universal pain point in modern gaming. And honestly, that is exactly where this number comes into play, 150. Western Digital is basically claiming this massive 5 terabyte drive can hold up to 150 games. I mean, that's a number that instantly grabs the attention of anyone dealing with major storage anxiety. Just imagine keeping your entire library in one single place, ready to go whenever you are. All right, Section 1, meet the Black P10. So, what are they actually promising us here? Well, the Amazon marketing copy comes out swinging. They confidently state this drive will push your console or PC to new levels of performance, letting you play without limits. They're framing this thing not just as a place to dump files, but as a legitimate performance upgrade for your whole system. Moving on to Section 2, specs, pricing, and protection. But how do those bold claims actually hold up when we look at the raw hardware? Well, let's break down the spec sheet. For a $195 price tag, you're getting a massive chunk of digital real estate with that 5 terabyte capacity. It comes in a pretty portable 2.5-inch form factor, it's wrapped in a durable metal top cover, and it hooks up to your system using a standard USB 3.0 interface. Now here's where things get super interesting. We've got this flashy, new levels of performance marketing on one hand, but the spec reality? It tells a slightly different story. This is actually a standard mechanical hard disk drive, an HDD, maxing out at read speeds of about 130 megabytes per second. In an era where lightning-fast solid-state drives are everywhere, it is absolutely crucial to understand you're dealing with traditional spinning disk tech here. And, because it is a mechanical drive with delicate moving parts inside, protecting your data is kind of a big deal. Western Digital offers a standard 3-year limited warranty out of the box, but Amazon also highly encourages you to tack on third-party data recovery plans. For roughly 13 to 15 extra bucks, you get free shipping for in-lab data recovery if the drive happens to bite the dust, complete with a money-back guarantee if they actually can't save your files. Okay, Section 3, compatibility and speed nuances. This brings us to a major point where buyers absolutely need to pay close attention. The marketing screams next-level storage for next-gen consoles, but the user reality is highly, highly specific. Yes, you can play older PS4 and Xbox One games directly off the drive, but those beautiful next-gen PS5 and Xbox Series X and S games, they can only be archived. Meaning, no, you cannot launch a PS5 game directly off this drive. You actually have to wait and transfer it back to your console's internal storage before you can hit play. Oh, and if you are a PC gamer, listen up, because there is a fantastic pro tip buried in the reviews. Out of the box, this drive ships with exFAT formatting, which consoles need. But if you are plugging this into a PC for your massive Steam library, you should immediately reformat it to NTFS. Leaving it in exFAT on a Windows machine can actually cause some pretty nasty stuttering and speed issues while you're gaming. Which brings us to Section 4, the customer consensus. So with all those caveats out in the open, how does it actually perform in the wild? Well, looking at the data from over 25,000 global ratings, the consensus is, wow, it's overwhelmingly positive. A whopping 85% of buyers gave it a flawless 5 stars, and another 10% gave it 4 stars. Only 3% handed out a 1-star rating. I mean, that is a tremendous amount of happy gamers. We're seeing glowing reviews everywhere driving up that score. Take this one from a user named Tom. He calls it an absolute must-have, praising its rock-solid reliability and noting he's literally never had a single issue. And he hits the nail on the head regarding the biggest perk. It totally eliminates that annoying chore of constantly curating and deleting games. But To be totally fair shopping guides here, we gotta weigh that praise against the vocal 3% who had a rough time. Some users claim their drives crashed after literally 1 day of use. One pretty frustrated reviewer even pointed out that it cost them extra money out of their own pocket just to ship the dead drive back to Western Digital for the warranty replacement. So, just a heads up, hardware failure is always a possibility. Actually, scratch that. There's a really cool pun, entirely intended, positive that popped up in the deep dive technical reviews, the thermal performance. Because it uses a slightly slower 4800 RPM drive, combined with that heat-dissipating metal top, it keeps operational temps surprisingly cool, staying well below 50 degrees Celsius. In the electronics world, heat is just the absolute worst enemy, so running cool means a huge boost to the drive's long-term lifespan. All right, final stretch. Section 5. Comparing the competition. So how does the P10 stack up against the other recommendations Amazon throws at you? This right here is essentially your ultimate buying choice. For about $195, you get the huge 5 terabyte storage of the P10 mechanical drive, hitting those 130 megabyte per second speeds. Or, for literally $4 more, you could grab the WD_Black P40. Now, you're sacrificing a massive amount of space, dropping all the way down to just 1 terabyte, but you gain absolutely blinding solid-state speeds of 2,000 megabytes per second. So, what's the verdict? Knowing the speed limits of these traditional spinning drives, but totally recognizing how incredible it is to have 5 terabytes of cold storage for your massive backlog, does the WD_Black P10 actually belong in your cart today, or is the total need for next-gen SSD speed pulling you somewhere else? That's the ultimate compromise you have to make for your setup. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and we will definitely see you next time.